what would be your advices to people that would like to become future social entrepreneurs?
Yeah, it's great. I get this question a lot, and I think that that we were very methodical about the way that we came about drip tech.
Hmm.
We went out and we looked for a need, and it's very funny to me looking back at the very beginning because when I started on my trip to Ethiopia, when I went to interview these farmers.
Hmm.
Uh, I didn't have any preconceived notions about what type of solution they would need. In fact, I even had somewhat of a bias against drip irrigation. I wasn't very interested in it at all because I thought that it wasn't a very mechanical uh, need.
Hmm.
I didn't think that it was something I could bring my skills to bear on. Um, and we found out later that that wasn't the case, that the manufacturing technology posed an opportunity for us. But I think the key is if you're interested in social entrepreneurship in general and you want to find a way to have social impact and use your skills uh, in a way that combines entrepreneurship, social impact, um, then I think the first thing is to figure out um, what the need is, and and take your time. Don't don't jump to the first thing that
Hmm.
comes to mind. Uh, you want to wait until you have the insight um, from uh, from the customers, um, and so spend time researching, spend time talking to customers, and then after you see the opportunity, something that
Hmm.
could could help um, potentially millions of people, then I think the most important thing to do is to really build a good team. So find the right people who share your passion.
Hmm.
Um, After you've developed it, after you've developed your idea and your passion, you're able to communicate it with other people. You're able to pull together a team. Make sure that you pick the right people who you want to spend a lot of time with and who, and you sit down and you have serious discussions about, okay, we're gonna do this for years and we're gonna run out of money and we're gonna, have to move and we're gonna have to do this and that and how are we gonna deal with all these different challenges and have serious discussions about uh, about what people are signing up for,
Hmm.
because it's easy to get excited about an idea, but there's a long road ahead, and so you should talk about how long and how hard the road is before you kind of sign up for things. And yeah, so the team is incredibly important.
Was it easy for you to find people that were really willing to work hard and share their expertise on this project?
Well, I've got a great team, and I think it's a combination of a lot of things. So um, we I'm incredibly committed to the project and now the company,
Hmm.
uh, and and have been doing it for a long time and have sacrificed myself to commit and so there needs to be, as we say, there needs to be somebody strapped to the rocket. So I especially at Stanford, in really the heart of Silicon Valley, there's a ton of innovation here.
Hmm.
Everybody's kind of kicking around an idea for a startup. A lot of people, it means very little to say, I'm thinking about starting a company. And the difference between I'm thinking about starting a company and I'm starting a company is really big in this valley because um, everybody's got good ideas, but ideas are cheap and plentiful,
Right.
and sort of sweat and commitment is sort of the real currency. Um, so there's got to be somebody strapped to the rocket, and maybe that's one or two people to start with, and then that kind of commitment. If it's a good idea, then people will gravitate towards it. and people will just kind of show up.
And did you experience the same about talking with VC or about raising fund? Did you had to raise fund to create a company? Was it easy for such a project?
We were very fortunate. It was pretty easy for us, and relatively, it still was a lot of work. But we ended up raising our investment from mostly from individual angel investors.
Okay.
So, as soon as the other thing that you find is as soon as you go around saying, I'm starting a company, you just tell everybody you know, I'm starting a company, and you really put yourself out there and make that commitment and, risk your reputation and everybody thinks you're crazy and, they're talking about you. But then you find out, one or two of the people who they say, oh, well, I want to help you, I want to make it possible. And it's not necessarily who you would expect.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't know who you know until you tap your network and say, and go out on a limb and say, hey, I'm doing this, who can help me? And then they bring their network and in many ways our success with investment stemmed from our very first angel investor, who was a successful entrepreneur and who supported us very early on. And then as we hit our milestones, as we made progress, as we proved to him and to other people that we were committed and serious and we were going to be successful, then he was very pleased and proud of us, and he opened up his network and said and brought in a bunch of other angel investors. And so, yeah, hard work, creativity, and use your network, and good things will happen.
And again, go outside of your company, outside of your lab, and meet people and talk with them to understand their needs or just to speak about your project, if I get your point.
Yeah, you always have to be evangelizing because you don't know who you're talking to until you find out that it's somebody who can help you.